Hello, my name is Speed Williams. I'm an 8-time world champion team roper. Now Priefert has built me a gate inside of my gate to allow you to practice scoring your horse. If you can score when you leave home, it makes winning a whole lot easier.
Hi, I'm Jeff Rash, Marketing Director for Priefert Rodeo and Ranch Equipment. I'm joined today by Eric Dunn, also with Priefert, and Eric is kind of our guru at Priefert Manufacturing for helping us develop and manufacture the best roping equipment in the country. Eric, how are you today?
Good, Jeff. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for joining me. We're here in Marshall, Texas today in Michael Nash's arena. Beautiful place out here. Great operation out here, and we appreciate him letting us use this facility today to give you a demonstration of one of the newest, most revolutionary pieces of equipment that Priefert Manufacturing has ever developed, basically. We feel like that this particular chute that we're going to demonstrate to you today is literally going to change the game as far as team roping goes. It's going to change the way people practice. It's going to change the way that horses perform and the way ropers rope. So we're excited about this opportunity for the first time to be able to introduce this chute on the marketplace. And we look forward to having customer feedback. We want to know what you're thinking about it. We anticipate a large demand on this particular piece of equipment, and so we're very excited about that. As most people know, Eric, Priefert has been a leader in the rope and chute business for a long time.
Yes, sir.
We've been with the USTRC as a major sponsor. We're now the title sponsor for the World Series. It's called the Priefert World Series of Team Roping. We're also involved with the NTRL, the George Strait, the BFI.
NFR.
Obviously the NFR, yeah, that little rodeo they have in Vegas every year. So we're excited about being a leader in the rope and chute business and in the rough stock business in general. And the reason I have Eric here today to help me with this is because he's one of the gurus that helped develop this. Nate Priefert and Eric have spent a lot of time developing this next training tool that we're going to introduce to you now, the new scoring chute from Priefert. You know, we've got a lot of top-name team ropers that endorse Priefert products, from Speed Williams and Chad Masters and Rich Skelton, and the list goes on and on and on. All the top professionals in the industry normally rope out of a Priefert chute because they believe in practicing like they compete. And since a Priefert chute is used at most competitions, our endorsees and those professionals want to practice in the same type of equipment. Very key, instrumental part of practicing is using consistent equipment.
And it's been the most user-friendly, too, for them to get the practice that they need.
And there's a lot of different techniques that I notice when you're practicing that you work on. Everything from, you know, the way you're releasing the rope and to every technique known in the world. But one of the key factors that set the guys that consistently win in competition apart is the ability to properly score their horse, correct?
Once you get through the fundamentals is the most important thing of being fast.
Yeah, and those guys like Speed Williams, they'll tell you that there's a lot of good ropers out there and there's a lot of good rope horses out there. But one of the key things that make those guys winner, and Speed will tell you this, is the fact that he's able to judge that steer. His horses are listening to his commands. They're going when he tells them to go. And he's able to get out without breaking a barrier and get on top of that steer quickly. And that's the difference between winning and losing. Right. And so our goal was to set out and figure out a way to develop a chute that would enhance that tool. And like you were just talking about, in the past, when you've got a steer in the chute and your horse is looking at the steer, you can't bang the head gate because as soon as you open the head gate, the steer's going to get it. Okay?
You can score them, but you're going to spend a lot of time chasing the steers out the end of the pen.
So the most accepted way has been to do what you've said to do, is you get your horse back in the box and you rattle the tailgate with that remote control. Yeah. And that trains your animal not to key off noise. A lot of people also, you'll see a lot of these homemade chutes and they've got ropes and pulleys and levers and you know, the heeler reaches over and jerks the rope, and a lot of times horses you'll see will key off any type of movement from the rider, and that's something that you don't want to have. Right. So we want to develop the ultimate way to score your horse and not have to spend all of our steers out of the alleyway in order to do it. And so that's the reason we've developed the new scoring chute from Priefert. And the idea of the scoring chute is basically this. Eric, walk us through it. Once a steer comes inside, I'm going to go ahead and open this front gate,
okay,
so that our viewers can see what's going on inside. There's a new piece of equipment inside, and we call that the neck gate. And it works a whole lot like a head gate does on a squeeze chute.
Right.
And basically what we're doing here is the same concept. We're actually able to catch the neck of the animal as they come in the chute. So basically it works like this. We bring a steer inside. Obviously the front gate would be closed in that scenario so that it can't come out. As the steer comes up and moves its head just beyond the neck gate, the user is going to close the neck gate just like they would on a head gate. Now tell us, what does that allow us to do?
Well, when you catch the steer in the neck gate, that allows him to be held in the chute. And the other way, the operator, the roper, can open and close the head gate as many times as he wants to while he's sitting in the box. And because most horses will start cueing off of the gate opening for the noise of the gate to the actual movement of the gate. And with the steer in there, the steer usually tries to go back and forth like he's trying to, to run out like he normally would. And so then it also causes the steer to move, and the whole purpose of this whole chute and all the competition is to where you want your horse listening to the rider at all times and not keying off of movement, noise, or anything, any of the surroundings around him. You just want him listening to his rider, and when that rider says go, he goes,
So
wide
the theory is, obviously, when you're in practice and you're scoring your horse. So in other words, if I'm clanging this gate, if I'm opening and closing this gate constantly, my horse basically becomes desensitized to the gate.
Right.
He's no longer paying attention to the gate because in practice he's used to seeing this gate open and close all day,
and that's
which is unusual because normally you're listening to a different tone altogether with the back gate.
Right.
It's a different sound, it's a different movement in the back. So now he's actually watching the head gate move, and he's learning through stimulus and response that just because that gate opens doesn't mean I have to go.
And that's something that's never been done before. This is something totally new to the industry. Now, there has been some of the greats of all times. They took a rope and tied the steer or calf into the chute, and they would do this a couple of times, but then they had to untie the calf, maybe getting on and off their horse every time to do this. But still, even in that time era, it set them apart from everybody else. You can open it, and most horses had cued off of that, and then in secondary, you can open the neck gate and release the cow from the neck gate. Or you can have the cow in there, be holding the steer into the rope and chute itself. You open and close the head gate as many times as you want. You can close it back, and then you can take the neck gate off and then let the steer actually come with the head gate. So you can change it up, and by doing all these different scenarios, it keeps your horse cueing off of your hand and what you're telling him to do instead of any movement or noise that the chute or the steer's doing.
And this is based on simple stimulus response psychology. Is the horse is learning not to respond by any movement of the rider, other than giving him his head.
Well, the horse's adrenaline flows when he walks into that box
because he knows what's
pretty
coming.
Soon he's going to run as fast as he can to catch that steer.
Absolutely.
So he starts anticipating that, and this is desensitizing that anticipation of running after that steer.
And the result is basically you're getting a calming effect from your horse. Your horse is entrusting the rider to tell him where to go each time. And that's huge when you're in competition, because how many times has somebody had a great run just to turn around and look back and see that they broke the barrier?
Well, in today's competition, it's not about being a second difference, it's about being a tenth of a second difference.
Absolutely.
Right.
Basically, the functionality of this chute is very simple. It takes just a few minutes to practice with the chute, the operation.
Right. In this chute, each operation is worked off the same button. For example, the head gate opens and closes off the same button. That way you don't have to try to mash the find the other button on you to mash it.
Which
Once
is,
you
I think,
find
been a
that,
great improvement to the remote. I
awesome.
like it a lot better.
You find that one button, and you can open and close it as many times as you want to without moving your finger off that button. Same thing on the neck gate. You can open and close it off the same button, and the tailgate.
And let's go through a couple of things. In fact, first of all, we're going to go ahead and bring a steer into the chute, kind of show everybody how the operators. We're going to first of all work it in semi-automatic mode. Now remember, semi-automatic mode now means that I'm operating the chute fully with the remote control. So every gate is going to respond to my controls from this remote control. So now what I want to do is I want to open my back gate. Okay, we're going to pull that steer up, and I'm going to close the tailgate behind. And when I'm ready to rope, obviously I'm set. I can either set it on a delay if I want to hit the button and wait 5 seconds or 3 seconds, or I can have it respond immediately to my command on the remote control, which we're set up now. So I'll open the head gate, the steer goes, and I go rope the steer. When I get back, I'm still in total control. I close my tailgate, I open, or my head gate, I open my tailgate, load the next steer, close the tailgate behind, and I'm ready to rope once again. Now we're going to show you how the neck gate works. Now this is still in semi-automatic mode. I'm still in control with this remote control. So this is how it basically works. I can open that head gate, but the steer can't go anywhere because she's caught with the neck gate. I can then close the gate.
You know, that's the neat thing about that is the steer is pushing on it, making movement too. So it's not just the noise of the head gate and movement, it's also the steer trying to leave.
Absolutely. So as many times as I want, I can sit here and cycle with the push of one button. Because again, one button opens and closes. I can sit here and score my horse 5, 6, 10 times. I can do it on every steer now if I want to.
Yes.
There's no tying the steer back. There's no putting a bar across the front. Any of the old methods that's been used, we've now simplified that. So basically, it can work this way. If I'm ready to go now, and I'm going to rope this next steer, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open that neck gate, because now when I open the head gate, I want the steer coming out.
Right.
Okay. So we're off rope, and I get back, and that's how it works. Basically in semi-automatic mode. We're going to go ahead now and we're going to discuss this chute not only works in automatic mode where I'm in complete control of everything with the remote control, and now we're going to talk about fully automatic, and this is what I'm really excited about. To turn on the fully automatic, Eric, if you'll hit the button for me, there's simply at the press of a button, you press the red button, and now this chute has basically been turned into a robotic, fully automatic chute. And what that means is basically at the touch of a button to release that front gate, the chute is going to perform the rest of the duties for me as far as closing the front gate, opening the tailgate, loading the steer. The eye recognizes the steer, closes the tailgate behind. And all I have to do to go into fully automatic mode is simply touch one button. I turn on this red button right here, and now I am engaged in fully automatic mode. We're going to load this next steer. Okay, as soon as that steer enters the gate, this photo eye that's mounted under this box is sensed that the steer is in the chute, and that tailgate automatically closes behind the steer.
That's right.
Okay. Now I have an option.
Right.
As the roper, I have the option whether I want to use this neck gate or not.
That's right.
Okay, so you have a remote control. Let's apply the neck gate.
Okay.
Okay. So now we've caught that steer. Now I'm ready to rope. I'm in the box. I'm set up. I'm going to release that front gate. And right behind that, the neck gate releases and the steer comes out ready to rope. The back gate will now open. The next steer comes in, the photo eye senses the steer is now inside the chute, and the back gate comes close, that steer is ready to rope.
Right.
I'm going to set the delay for about 5 seconds.
Okay.
So basically when I'm in fully automatic mode and I turn on a delay, the delay goes from the front gate to the neck gate. And this time when I open the gate, it should be approximately 5 seconds before the neck gate allows that steer to leave.
That's right.
For years, Priefert's been a leader in obviously the equipment business. We've been honored to be at some of the biggest ropings and world records and affiliated with all those great things in this great sport that we all love.
Right.
But for years, we've all talked about wanting to figure out what that magic tool was that was revolutionary, that would literally change the game and level the playing field for ropers all across the country. I think we finally found that magic bullet with the Priefert Score Chute. I think this is going to change the game for a lot of people as far as being able to properly train their animals.
Right. They're going to be able to properly train their horses, and they're going to be able to keep their good horses ready for competition, because it's a battle of keeping your horse's attention to the rider instead of to the obstacles around him. And with a tool like this, you're going to have the best chance ever to keeping your horse listening to the rider and keeping that horse at its sharpest key of when to go.
The thing about this chute right here is it works for a novice level clear to a pro. I tell you what, with what we went through today with this chute, I mean, it's going to revolutionize the whole chute industry.
I could see where it could help anybody scoring if you got one that's acting up in the box or anything.
I think that everybody's always looking for that edge to make themselves a better competitor. If he can have a little bit of an advantage over them guys when he shows up and he puts his money up, man, more power to him. I mean, that's not going to do nothing but help.
So no matter what your needs are, whether you need a Priefert manual roping chute, whether you need a calf roping chute, whether you want just an automatic rope and chute, whether you want the photo eye, or whether you want the now fully automatic Priefert scoring chute, we've got a chute that definitely fits the needs of all ropers across the country, and we're really proud about it. Thank you for watching this demonstration, Eric. I want to thank you for joining me here at Michael Nash's arena today. And I've enjoyed the demonstration. I hope you folks at home have enjoyed it as well. Be sure to contact Priefert Manufacturing. You can go online or call our friendly sales staff in Mount Pleasant, and we'll be glad to hook you up with the brand new Priefert scoring chute.